They finally done it, boys. They fixed the game. World War III is fixed. Okay, well, maybe they didn't actually fix the game, but they fixed the biggest problem with the game for sure. I guess that's not true either. Well, they fixed the underlying problem with the game. There we go. They fixed the underlying problem with the game. They provided a small update recently. I'm going to go over that with you guys here in just a second. But as you know, the biggest problem with the game was the player numbers. And what they did this week, they had a couple updates, but what they did this week, I think, is really something that was causing a major issue in the game. So let's get into that. Let's get into what the patch notes say, and I'll see you in the video. Alright, so the biggest problem plaguing World War III right now, as we probably all know, is the player numbers. Most of the players that have tried to play the game have experienced this vicious circle. First, you download and install the game, and this takes like 2 hours, and that's a problem in itself. Totally different video. Next, you launch the game, you don't select any region because you just want to play the game. Especially if you're in NA or OC regions, you don't select the EU region, which is the only populated region, because, well, you don't want the high ping, and that makes sense. Since you see 0 players online, you close and install. Now, this has prevented you and others from playing the game because you don't see anybody online, so you don't play the game. And since you're not playing the game, nobody is online. So this has been an issue for a while, and I know the community has really been pushing for, well, this exact fix. The devs finally took a step in the right direction about 6 months too late, in my opinion, but better late than never. The devs finally merged all the regions together into one launcher, so you no longer have to worry about that issue. In their latest weekly update, they explained that the original plan for launch, with the expected huge number of players, was to split the regions, and then this would somehow lighten the burden on the servers. I don't know how that makes sense, but I'm a therapist in the health field, so why in the world would I know anything like that? Anyways, at the time of the launch, the regions were split into separate launchers, and everything went perfect without issues, and the servers handled everything great that day. Apparently, with the newly updated server performance, the devs feel like even if there were a large influx of players, they'd be able to manage it all in one launcher. Oh, okay. So that's what they did. Everything is now combined into one. The server browser now shows all available lobbies in the region, and this is excellent for the game. Now, it may be a little bit too late. I don't think so. If they can keep it like this, I think that that's going to be really good for them in the long run, especially when this new movement update comes out and they decide to implement a free weekend. I'm guessing that weekend, actually. I think this is going to keep players around for a little while because they're not going to see 0 servers. Now, as all the regions were split into 3 profiles, I know you're all sweating and worrying about your unlocked gear and stats and thinking that you've lost it all, but don't you worry, they've got you covered. That Farm 51, they're on it. There's not a wipe, even though, you know, that could have happened, I wouldn't cared. The only thing that they did was that your most played profile will be your profile from here on out. So if you played mostly EU, then all your EU stuff is still there. If you played mostly NA with the little time that you could play, all your NA stuff is there. Not that I really think anyone cares that much about this. I mean, some people might, but, you know, for me, I use a total of 3 guns, and they're easy to buy. But if that's the thing that keeps you going throughout the day, then you do you. Get your stuff. Personally, obviously, I'm glad that this change is taking place, and I think that it's necessary. Otherwise, the same thing is going to happen this next free weekend with the movement update. There's going to be a huge swarm of players. They're going to see how the game is, and then the NA servers are just going to die and fizzle out again. All the way up to the full release, and if they still would have kept that system, I feel like it would be the same. Now, I think it makes a lot more sense for them to do it this way. It's more of an Insurgency Sandstorm style. I love the way Insurgency does it. It's real easy. You can just pick your region. You don't have to get out of the game or anything like that. It just makes it easier on everyone. Now, we still don't know when 0.9 is going to be coming out. It should be here soon. I'm guessing within the next month, which is great, because right now I've tried to hop on and play some, and oh man, the movements are... It's just tough. I'm getting caught on things all the time. I can't step over a box. I have trouble sliding. I'm running into things. I'm clipping. It's a really hard game to play if you're used to the real refined movements. You know, once I got my hands on Modern Warfare, and I've been playing Sandstorm a lot lately, when you play those games and you feel that movement, it makes it really, really, really hard to go back to this game. So hopefully with this movement update, things get a little bit nicer, a little bit easier, a little bit smoother, and I can actually enjoy it. Otherwise, it's a clunky mess. Alright, well that pretty much wraps up this video. As far as the future of this game goes, we'll see. I mean, I feel like they've got a lot of good things in place for this game to, well, make a comeback, but, you know, who knows? A lot of people think it's dead. A lot of people think it's done for. But we're at least going to get to the 1.0 release, and we'll see where it goes from there. If you like the video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you like the content and want more of it, and comment down below if pineapple is appropriate on pizza. All right, guys, that's about it. Take care.